Morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on our webinar with India Exotica Travels, Tiger Trails of India, selling the ultimate wildlife safari to your clients. My name is Anna Kammerer. I work with Emerging Destinations, and we are a boutique sales and marketing representation company in the US and in Canada. As you can see on our screen, on your screen now, you will find all the logos and company name of the different partners that we have in the portfolio. We have a big, diverse, and adventure portfolio of DMCs, tourism boards, hotels, lodges, camps, and cruises across Asia, Africa, Europe, Central, and South America. In case you have any questions from any of these clients or destinations that we have in the portfolio, or you have a booking request, or maybe you want to schedule a one-on-one for you and your team and dive deeper in a specific destination or company, please feel free to reach out to me after this webinar. You can see my contact information on the screen now. You have my email address, my WhatsApp number, as well as my US phone number. So please contact me, and I will be more than happy to assist you or coordinate something special for you. Before passing everything over to Manoj, who is our host today from India Exotica Travels, I would like to give you a brief overview or housekeeping notes for this webinar. Number one, this webinar is being recorded, so if you need to step away or answer the phone, no worries. We are recording this webinar, and by the end of today, you will be receiving on your email a follow-up email which will include this webinar recording, as well as the presentation Manoj is using for this webinar, and some other marketing materials that you are free to use for any sales or marketing purposes that you want to put together. As all attendees are mute, in case you have any questions for Manoj, please feel free to type your questions on the control panel on your right. And at the end of Manoj's presentation, we will be answering every single question that you might have been typing on the control panel. Something important also, we will not only send the webinar recording by email, you will be able to find this webinar recording as well on our YouTube channel, Emerging Destinations 156. We have different playlists, so you will find a playlist for Africa, a playlist for Asia, a playlist for Europe, and one for the Americas. So if you are interested in watching this webinar again, or maybe finding or watching other webinars that we have been conducting with Manoj from India Exotica Travels or other clients in the Asia continent, for example, just subscribe to our YouTube channel and feel free to check it out and look for the playlist and the topic that you are interested in. And we will be also include this webinar recording in the Europe Asia newsletter that is going out every 6 weeks. Actually, today we are sending the Europe Asia newsletter for the month of August. So this webinar recording will be included in the next one, which will be within 6 weeks. I think that is more or less middle September. This is basically a brief overview on our company and how are we handling this webinar today. So now I have the pleasure to introduce you to Manoj Sharma. He's the founder and managing director of India Exotica Travels DMC, an amazing partner that we have in the portfolio, a DMC tailor-made in anything in India, Nepal, and Bhutan. And the topic today are the Tiger Trails of India. So over to you, Manoj.
Thank you. So, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. This is Manoj from India Exotica Travels. And today I will be talking to you about Tiger Trails of India, how to sell the ultimate safari to your clients. These clients of yours might be the first timers to India, or they might be some people who are very interested in wildlife but not very deep into it, or it might be some experienced wildlifers. So, how to create amazing programs for these people when they are coming to see tigers. So, why do people travel across the world to see tigers? Well, tiger is the world's most iconic cat. Without doubt, when a tiger stares into your eyes, it is one of the most mesmerizing experience one can have. This is what many of our clients have told us. Tigers are solitary animals, unlike the other big cats, and they hunt by stealth. They silently they stalk a prey for sometime hours, and they ambush their prey before launching a short, explosive jump at their prey. So, watching a tiger and watching a tiger hunt is really one of the most spectacular things to see in the wildlife. India also has 70% of the world's wild tigers. We have currently over 3,700 tigers. Uh, no zoo experience can compare seeing a tiger in the wild. So, come to India if you see a tiger in the wild rather than in a park or in a zoo or like that. Also, when you are seeing tigers, you can do luxury, the amazing luxury lodges and amazing heritage sites around the tiger parks. So you can combine a very comprehensive, complete journey when you are coming to see tigers. Why is India the best tiger destination? As I said, we have the largest population of tigers. We have 58 different tiger parks across India. They are from north in the Himalayas to south into the tropical lush green areas, from the deserts of Rajasthan to the swamps of Sundarbans in the east. Uh, since 1970s, we are following a very strong, very effective tiger conservation project called Project Tiger, which has been very, very successful now. In these parks, we have created excellent safari infrastructure. So, seeing the tiger is becoming a very, very professional way to look for these animals. Around these tiger parks, we have some very luxury wildlife lodges. So, your clients will enjoy staying in those lodges after doing a hard safari into the park. We have very good naturalists, and we can easily combine a tiger expedition with Taj Mahal, with UNESCO, with heritage sites, and like that. Many of our parks are very conveniently located. Of course, some parks are very remote also. So we have a vast choice available to see tigers in India. People ask, what is the best time for a safari? Typically, the tiger parks in India are open throughout the year except the monsoon period. Being monsoon is the time when the parks get flooded and the trails become a little tricky. That's why many parks close during the monsoon period. So you could say November to June is a time when the parks are open. Many parks are now opening from October itself. Weather-wise, there are two different choices you have. The best comfort for your clients is from October to March. But as you know, in the summertime, April, May, and June, when the weather gets hot, it might be a little uncomfortable, but the water sources in the wildlife parks dry up. And if you are really hardcore wildlifer, then you might enjoy coming during the hot months because the chances of spotting tigers increase dramatically during the summer months, even though it is not the best weather in that sense. So that is the choice that you may have to offer to your clients in case, depending upon their look, their interest. Another question people ask is how close can we get to the tigers? Well, very close. Sometime, as I say, even 50 millimeter lens is not is too long. Many times, tiger almost brushes past your own vehicle that you are driving in, even though they are solitary, even though they are very shy. But many of the parks now, the tigers understand that the jeeps don't really create any problem for them and they don't interfere in their work. So they are okay to come very close to these safari jeeps. So, in terms of starting promoting the tigers, what should we promote the best? For your clients, I would highly recommend that they go first to Ranthambhore National Park for multiple reasons. If your clients are coming for the first time in India, I'm sure they also want to see Taj Mahal, they also want to see Delhi and Jaipur, and then Ranthambhore falls right within the trail. So going to Ranthambore is very, very convenient, very easy. You can easily sell a 12, 15-day program to your clients with 3, 4 days in Ranthambore and rest of the time in the sites like Agra and Jaipur and Delhi. Ranthambore has an ancient fortress. So seeing the tigers with the ancient fortress like this, a little cupola, is really, really very amazing sight. Ranthambore is in Rajasthan, so it's the landscape is a little desert. So the desert is open, so tiger sighting chances become much better. There are many zones within the park, and therefore it is very good for the beginners, who are just experimenting with wildlife, or hardcore professionals who want to really spend a lot of time. The airports are close by. Delhi and Jaipur both are very good airports, very close to the park. So visiting Ranthambore becomes a very nice option. Why it sells so well? As I said, it's conveniently located between Agra, Jaipur, and Delhi. So you get to see Taj Mahal, you get to see Jaipur and Delhi. It's perfect for guests seeking just a short luxury experience. Maybe 2 nights is sufficient. Many people go there for just 2 nights. So that's why it adds up very nicely. You get a taste of India, you get a taste of Taj Mahal, and you get a taste of tigers in India. There are some amazing accommodations. You have Aman Group of Hotels, Aman a Khas property. You have a very nice Suzanne Sherbag tented camps, a very nice wildlife lodge, and of course the signature Oberoi Group's Vanya Vilas. These are all within the close proximity of the wildlife park. Other than that, there are also many other five-star level accommodations around, but these three are like ultra luxury lodges that you can think of when you're coming to Ranthambore. Then from Ranthambore, if you want to go more intensely to see tigers, then central India is the perfect place. There are 5 tiger parks. In the ancient time, they were all sort of one area, but with the population pressure now, the government has created 5 distinct tiger parks in that area. They are easily connectable from one park to another. And the first park in that series is Panna Tiger Reserves. It is a remarkable story of Panna because about 25 years ago, all the tigers from that park disappeared. They all died out for various reasons. And then they started doing some translocation of the tigers, and the conservation work really took off. And now Panna boasts of almost 100 tigers. So that's really, really a very big successful story on Panna. Close to Panna is the erotic temples of Khajuraho, ancient fine art carvings on stone. And being in central India, it's away from the rush of tourists. So the safari experience is much more easier in Panna. It is a short 1 hour flight and then a 1 hour drive from the airport from Delhi. As I said, you can combine it with Khajuraho. And there are some very nice lodges there. Oberoi has just opened, restored a 350-year-old palace called Rajgarh Palace into a luxury resort and spa that is close by to the park. And then, of course, Taj has the Pashangarh Lodge very close to the park. So Panna is very nice central Indian park that your clients may be interested in. Um, then the other park is the Bandhavgarh National Park, Bandhavgarh Tiger Park. This is another about 4 hours drive away from Panna. This park has the highest density of tigers. It has almost 175 tigers. The park is small, compact. It also has a heritage fort, so some of the time you can see tigers in some amazing settings of ancient temple or ancient fort. A lot of repeat sightings because the zones overlap, and all in all, a great and very beautiful wildlife park. Uh, Luxury lodges are here also. You have Oberoi's signature Vindhya Vilas tented accommodation. You have Taj Group's Mahua Koti and TUTC, the ultimate traveling camps, the untamed Bandhavgarh. Very nice lodges in this real remote destination. Very good for very serious wildlife people. They will really enjoy going to these places. The third park in the range is Kanha National Park. This is the classic Central Indian wilderness. It's one of the largest parks of that area. A lot of open spaces, meadows. The park is also famous for another species, the one of the biggest antelope of India, the Barasinga, which had which had reduced to almost 70 about 50 years ago, and now with the very serious conservation efforts, the population of this deer has increased to 1,000. So that is a very big successful story there. Again, luxury lodges, Taj Banjar Tola, Singinawa Jungle Lodge, Bagh Vilas. The nearest airport of Kana is about 3 hours drive away at Jabalpur. So again, the connectivity is very easy to visit this wildlife particular park. The next park is Pench National Park. This is Jungle Book. Rudyard Kipling wrote the Jungle Book. He was talking about these areas, and the Pench is considered Mowgli's forest. Mowgli was the background of Rudyard Kipling's Jungle Book story here. You get to see a lot of leopards and wild dogs also. And it's a dry forest area, luxury safari experience. Uh, Very nice lodges, Taj Bhagavan, Jamatra Wilderness Camp, and it is only 2 hours from Nagpur Airport. So again, depending upon how you are traveling, very easy to approach this wildlife park. And then we come down to the Central Indian Wildlife Park of Chadoba. Chadoba is actually in Maharashtra. Again, a very interesting tiger park. This park has a speciality that it is open pretty much throughout the year. Even in the monsoon, it is open because the monsoon has a different way of coming into this area, and many of the zones of this park are open. So you can have both winter viewing as well as summer viewing in this wildlife park. Uh, Again, some very nice lodges, Swasara Jungle Lodge, Vagoba Jungle Lodge, in the close proximity, very close to Nagpur Airport, only about 2 hours drive. So, in a very simple nutshell for your clients, for those who are coming for the first time, I would say Ranthambhore comes out very well. Iconic fort, great for first time visitors. Bandhavgarh has the highest tiger density. Kana, Pench, Panna, and Tadoba. These are all for serious enthusiasts who really want to see tigers in their natural habitat. There are other parks which are worth considering. You have Corbett. This is north of Delhi. It's about 4 hours drive north of Delhi. It's the oldest national park, named after the legendary British hunter come conservationist Jim Corbett. Beautiful landscape. Then you have Dudhwa, which is an off-beaten park in the Terai area between Nepal and India. And then you have Kaziranga in the east, where you also get to see rhinos. But the tall grass sometimes hides the tiger. So the tiger sighting per se is not that great, even though the number of tigers in Kaziranga are still pretty high, almost over 100. Now, so this is about the tiger parks, but now some of the logistic part that we tour operators have to really pay attention, because this can be a source of discomfort if we are not doing it very well. Our safaris in Indian wildlife parks are very much controlled. So understanding those safari aspect is very, very important. Mainly the safaris are done in open jeeps. They carry a maximum of six passengers. We recommend that no more than five should go in one jeep plus the naturalist. There is a concept among the tour operators of what we call as premium versus standard zones. There is no official definition of the same. The only difference is that a premium zone is considered a zone with nice landscape. It may have a lake, it may have a river flowing through, it may have open meadows, uh, and therefore many people prefer to go to the premium zone, and the chances of sighting tigers are maybe 60% as against 40% of the standard zone. So we recommend that you go to the premium zone, even though it may happen that you go to the premium zone and you don't see any tiger, but the guys who went to the buffer, the standard zone saw a lot more tiger. So that is a very different thing altogether. Booking for tiger safaris opens from 2 to 5 months before. It's a very interesting way. For example, from 1st August, they open the booking from 1st October to uh, uh, 31st December. So if your clients are going in mid of October, that is 2.5 months. And if they're going in late December, that is 4.5 months. So that is how the booking happens. However, if they are going in January, then the booking will open only in November. So best thing is to get in touch with us and we will help you. The moment you have the clients, we say book the safaris first. It's more important than even getting the hotel accommodation. Another thing in Indian safari system is the concept of instant system. They call it Tatkal. In each wildlife park, for every day, they keep certain zones open for last minute booking. So this booking opens about a week before. So they are very expensive, but this gives the chance in case you didn't get a right zone that if you are willing to pay a little extra, then you can try to get the safari booking even 1 week before, or sometime even 3 days before going into the park. So many people, if they really want to go into the right zone and they are unable to get it otherwise, they may attempt to do the Tatkal system. Without doubt, multiple safaris increase the chances of success. Tiger is never guaranteed. No tour operator can guarantee that you will see a tiger because this is the nature of tiger. So we encourage that you should do at least 2 nights and 4 safaris in a wildlife park and maybe more. You know. Um, Safari logistics is that once you book a safari, you cannot change it. You cannot change the names. If you book 4 people in the Jeep and suddenly a fifth person wants to come in, that is not possible. If you get book 4 people in a Jeep and one person doesn't want to go and somebody else wants to come, that change is not possible. So these are the things that one has to keep in mind. Zones as to which zone you will go into, 1 zone, 2 zone, 3 zone, 4 zone. That's the premium safari versus the standard safari. This is done at the time of booking. Passport copies are required, and you have to carry the same passport on which is listed in the booking. Otherwise, they will not allow you to go inside. So don't carry 2 different passports when you're doing the safaris. Coming to designing the perfect tiger's journey, the easiest thing is to have the luxury golden triangle of Delhi, Agra, Jaipur, and include Ranthambhore in that. If you want to extend it, you can add Khajuraho with its erotic temples and Panna, or you can do the central tiger circuits. You can have 2 parks out of that. You can have 3 parks, 4 parks, or all 5 parks. We consistently get clients on our tour called the Crazy Tiger Tour, where they visit 7 different parks, staying at least 2 to 3 nights in each park. You know, you can also combine Rajasthan, you can combine South India into those. So, various ways we can create the tiger itineraries for your clients. So, top tips in a nutshell for selling luxury safaris: book safaris immediately. It's more important than even getting the hotel because you really want to be at the right zone at the right time. Uh, Allow at least 4 to 6 safaris to have a good chance of seeing the tigers. Choose the right park depending upon where all the clients are visiting. Use luxury lodges. They give you really the taste of the jungle. Manage expectations. As I said, the tigers are never guaranteed, so enjoy what you get. Combine wildlife with culture. That is one very good way of sort of changing the pace of the trip, and travel at the right season. Why India Exotica? Well, we are doing this thing with over 35 years of designing wildlife programs. We have very strong relationships with the safari booking people, with safari lodges, with naturalists. We give you guidance on safari permits, zone selection, tatkal strategies so that you get your clients the right zone, and seamless combination of wildlife with classical destinations. So let's create something really, really special for you. Thank you very much for your um, uh, listening to us.
Amazing presentation, Manoj. Thank you for that. Once again, I encourage all the travel advisors and tour operators connected today on this live webinar to type your questions for Manoj on the control panel on your right, as he will start answering those. So the first question I have for you, Manoj, what is like the typical itinerary you would suggest in terms of length of stay if someone wants, if it is a first timer traveler to India and wants to combine like the most iconic places in India plus tiger safaris? What is the minimum length of stay, and what are like the basics you would recommend to include in that first time in India?
Yes. So for someone who is coming for the first time in India, 9 night program, 9 night, 10 days to India will be perfect, which would be arrival Delhi, spend 2 nights in Delhi, go to Jaipur, spend 2 nights in Jaipur, then go to 2 nights in the Tiger Park, Ranthambhore, and spend 2 nights there, do 4 safaris in Tiger Park, and then come to Agra to see Taj Mahal, and then you can come back to Delhi and fly out. So that 8 night or 9 night program, depending upon where you want to do the last night, will be a perfect introduction for a tiger program, including its iconic sites.
Thank you. Then the next question I have for you is regarding, especially regarding families. Is there a minimum age either allowed or recommended for this type of trip, doing like the national parks and the tiger visits?
So there is no age limit at all. Even young babies are going into these wildlife parks. These wildlife parks are very safe. Even though you are traveling in these open jeeps, and the tigers don't jump into the car at all. This is how they train. The whole thing has been like that. There's no incident where anybody has come into the jeep and taken away. So kids are totally safe. So there is no restriction on children. In fact, they are one of the major family going into wildlife park is one of the major client base that we have actually.
Thank you. Then we have another questions. Actually, one of the travel advisors connected today always include lectures or meetings with researchers and conservationists in the area. Could that be possible if working with India Exotica Travels DMC?
Absolutely. We have some very good people who are working in the field, who are experts in tiger relocation, in tiger habitat, and how to stop poaching, in how to make sure that the tigers do in their old age, and what to do with the local tribal communities who are living right in the tiger territory in the buffer zones. So these are the various groups of people that we are very, very closely connected. My own sister is actually just retired as the top wildlife person, and she was managing Dudhwa National Park and a few other national parks during her tenure. So we have a very good reach to these people. Yeah.
Amazing. Regarding the way that India Exotica Travels usually work, do you offer net or commissionable rates, or can travel advisors work on on both? I mean,
Yeah.
depending on
So,
what they need.
yeah. So we prefer to work on a net rate where we give you the price and you put your own markup and give it to the client. Reason being that the reverse system where we give you a gross rate and you give the rate to the client and the client pays us the money and we give you back the money, it brings in India is one of the most bureaucratic destination, and they start putting all kind of taxes on that return money that we will send you. So there is a 18% GST tax, there is a tax deducted at source. So it all in all, it becomes so painful that you will not be very happy if we start cutting taxes on your income that we are supposed to be sending you back. So much better, we prefer that we just give you the net rate, you put your markup and you give it to the client. Mhm.
And regarding payments, do you take credit cards? Can travel advisors or tour operators do wire transfers?
So we again, the easiest thing is the wire transfer. It takes less than 8 hours to do the wire transfer. Actually, it takes only 2 hours to do the wire transfer, and the charges are upfront. No one get disillusioned with that. We take credit card also, and we charge 3.5% on the credit card. That part is also something that we accept. Mhm.
Okay, amazing. And for someone interested in doing this trip, I mean, doing India, featuring some of the national parks that you were presenting today, is it possible still to put together a trip like that, even for this year in 2026, or do you recommend already looking for next year?
See, already the bookings are open till 31st December. So we really, for example, if you're booking for Ranthambhore and you are doing 4 safaris, we would like to have at least 3 safaris in the zone 1 to 5. And then the one safari can be on the so-called buffer zone, which is from zone 6 to 10. So if somebody is interested, we would say, let us know. We will find out if those safaris are still available, because these safaris book very quickly, because all the wildlifers of the world are coming into this area. So let us know and we will find out whether safaris are available or not. And once their safaris are available, we have to book immediately, because this is a government system, this is online, and we have to block the safaris the first thing, and then everything else can flow from there. So within this year, yes, we are still operating many things, but the choice of which zone we will get becomes a little restrictive.
And to book a safari, I assume you require a deposit or some kind of prepayment.
Yes, yes, because these are almost non-refundable safaris. We have to either pay and immediately block the safaris. So we will tell you how much money we will need. It will not be a very huge amount, but that needs to be taken care of before.
Okay, clear enough. Okay, so we don't have any other question on the control panel here on the platform. So just as a brief reminder to all the travel advisors and tour operators connected today on this session, please check your inbox or your spam folder, as later today you will be getting a follow-up email which will include this webinar recording, the webinar, the presentation used by Manoj, as well as his contact information and some other marketing materials that you are free to use for your own marketing purposes. In fact, we encourage you, if you need, I don't know, to create an email blast or include something in your website or in a newsletter to encourage your clients start looking for India and start thinking about the tiger trails, please feel free to use any materials from India Exotica Travels, as well as any blogs or articles that you can find in our website, emergingdestinations.com. That material, those blogs are written for you, so you are free to use them. So the idea is to help you to sell a destination and to give some ideas or spark interest into your clients. So once again, thank you, Manoj, for your time, and thank you for all the travel advisors connected today. I know it's a busy summer season, so thank you for taking the time to attend this webinar live. And over to you, Manoj. I would love for you to just wrap up and close this session.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, Anna, to make this presentation. And thank you very much to everybody who joined or who registered. I love tigers. I love wildlife park. And I think you will come to India because a lot of people talk about the African wildlife. I know African wildlife is very, very interesting, but I can assure you Indian wildlife is very different. In India, you don't get to see tigers like in the open. You have to literally stalk the animals, and that creates its own spy thriller kind of a experience. So going into Indian wildlife, you will really get hooked into this real prey and predator kind of a feel that you will be coming to. So please, you're welcome. Come to India and see these amazing parks. Thank you.